Yo, what's up, everyone? How's it going? Good morning. How's my audio? I think I finally got this figured out. I think today my audio should be good. All right. Let's analyze this chart, guys. So today I'm looking to trade Nasdaq into this previous day high. That's gonna be my draw on liquidity for today. Let's take a look at the chart and see kind of how we can get there. So I'm just gonna mark out some key levels on our daily chart, okay? So you can see yesterday on Friday, we came into this gap here, okay? This was that gap up from the previous week. So we're gonna analyze this daily chart for a second and kind of prove to ourselves why we want to trade higher here. So we came into this gap here. And you can see Nasdaq didn't trade into this gap. And inside this gap, we actually started to form some SMT. So if I look at the lower time frame here, you can see on Friday, we have this divergence that forms. Okay. Now this is a two-stage SMT. Right? You can see Nasdaq trades and diverges with this low here with the ES. And then we diverge again inside this gap. Okay. So this is some internal range of liquidity, and we have this external range high. Okay. We have a similar story here on the YM. Okay. That looks something like this. So this is some interesting price action on the daily chart, right? From this, we can see price can trade higher. We have this external high, which is the all-time high. So we're going from internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, right? If you guys trade ICT concepts, that's kind of a very basic one. Let's go to the daily open and see how price opens today then. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna look at this daily candle and see what we've done so far and how I can get involved, right, after the equities open. So again, here's my draw. I want to trade towards this high. I want to trade Nasdaq because Nasdaq is clearly the stronger pair here, right? So look at this daily open. Let's see how we can get there. So price opens here on the daily candle. It trades lower, right? Well, first of all, we gap up. You can see we have a gap right here that the YM doesn't have. Clearly a sign of strength in the Nasdaq here. So we have this gap up. We create this internal range of liquidity, which is just this gap. And you can see price rebalances this in the overnight session, okay? Don't have that here on the YM specifically. So as we create a swing point in here, I'm looking to see if I can frame a very similar concept on the daily just to create a local swing for this daily candle. Okay. So what I notice we have in here, price diverges, these 4-hour lows, right? And then here at 2 a.m., so the London open, we trade into this slowdown here, okay, with SMT divergence. So it looks like this. Okay. And then from this, you can now see YM takes out this YM takes out this 2 a.m. low. So we have another divergence forming like this in the 4-hour chart. Like that. Like this. Which is interesting because this can be the low of the day here then. If we're reversing away from this on the higher time frame, we can now reverse away from this on the lower time frame. We're leaving these failure swings here. Failure swing. Okay. So now I'm looking to trade away from this 6 a.m. low and trade it higher. Okay. But the equities open is going to be at 9:30, right? We also have some news today, potentially, I believe. I'm not entirely sure if the news is actually going to happen. Let me check. What is it? Forex Factory, right? Today we have some tentative news, right? I don't know if it's actually going to come out due to the government shutdown, but we have news drivers in the market, right? So what I want to see is this 9 a.m. candle close, right? You can see how we open here with no wick. I'm interested to see if we form an imbalance here, right? And I can look to potentially long from this imbalance on the equities open. I need to see this asset here reverse as well. So you can see in here, this asset's still quite weak. So I'm looking to see what happens with this asset, right? In case we want to potentially trade lower. I think it's possible that if we don't reverse here on the YM, right, we could actually trade lower into these relative equal lows before we trade higher. But again, my look for today is to be trading NASDAQ into this high. So I'm mostly just going to be waiting for this higher time frame candle to close. There's this 9 a.m. candle, right? And I'm going to look to trade some sort of fair value gap to the high. So internal to external. Going to wait till equities open. Yeah, let's see if we actually get this news. Things are tentative, right? So today it looks like we do have news that will come out. I'm seeing some tentative news for the rest of the week, though. We'll have to see. With that being said, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be back in like a minute. So making myself a coffee. Is that different time frames? No, this is the same time frame on all assets. coffee maker is doing some weird things this morning. I don't know why it's not working. I'll have to fix that later. Yeah, this is all the same time frame on these two charts. This is the Dow, NASDAQ, the S&P. Before we start, I'm going to set up my own broker, set up my copy trader and such. Just give me a second. I'm setting up my broker on my own end here. Just takes me a second. I use Parallels on my Mac, so I have to like boot it all up. And I use NinjaTrader. All right, cool. Yeah, the middle chart here is NASDAQ, which is going to be the chart I'm looking to trade as well. So you're going to see me, if I'm framing longs, it's going to be on NASDAQ. We should continue buying gold. I personally don't trade gold. Several of my students do, though. They trade forex and they trade commodities. I just don't. I just focus on the index futures market predominantly. I wouldn't mind swing trading gold in the higher time frame. I just don't day trade it. Let me look at the gold chart. Let me see what's going on with the gold chart. Gold doesn't look terrible. We're still kind of consolidating here, though, actually. It's a little bit messy. Watching from Florida? Nice to have you, brother. Pleasure to have you. I used to live in Florida for a bit, actually. I'm going to try and see if I can fix my coffee machine before market open. 1 second. I bought the wrong size pod for my coffee machine. That's why I'm like, why is my coffee machine not working? It's got the wrong size pod. That makes a lot of sense. That's so silly, isn't it? Let me grab something else to do. Bought the wrong size pods. Okay, so what's important for me to notice into the open now is going to be seeing this YM reverse, right? So YM makes the lower low here, okay? And I need to see this asset reverse, right, from this divergence at the low. I'm not going to be trading this asset higher because it's weaker in the range, but a good indication that we're going to actually leave this as a swing low is if I see reversal on the YM. You can see I need to see the 6 a.m. candle flip, which is starting to do here, which is very nice for me to see, okay? My target's all-time high on NASDAQ here. And you can see the previous day high here. This has already been taken by the YM. It's just a failure swing. Okay, so if we look at these levels here, this is previous day high. It's just a failure swing to this higher time frame objective. But not only is it a failure swing, if we go down, you're going to see, right? It's already been taken here by the YM. So YM already took the previous day high in the overnight session. So it gapped up, took the previous day high, and now is failing to reverse. So because YM's already taken this level here and failed to reverse, meaning we're failing to take out this low, I'm now looking for some sort of continuation and for NASDAQ to also take out that previous day high, the S&P to also take out that previous day high. This is a concept known as an SMT break. Now, it's not as complex as it seems, right? It's just the fact that there was a swing point in the market that was traded to with some divergence of these assets. So some assets, in this case, the YM took it out, the NASDAQ did not. And then we saw a fail to reverse. We can use a premium and discount sequence here. You can see price fails to reverse. It holds a premium of this range. And now it's reversing from this internal range of liquidity on the higher time frame, which is this 4 hour, you'll be able to see. We're going from this 4 hour internal here, okay, to external. So because we're reversing in here, right, I can look to see if previous high also wants to be taken on the other assets. So I'll be trading some futures, yes. Yeah, previous day high is not my only target. Previous day high is a failure swing to my higher time frame objective. I'm also going to be giving away some accounts today, guys. We'll do some giveaways. We're going to do 10K forex and futures accounts. So we'll do that in a bit. We'll do it after I trade. Yeah, there will be. So we'll be doing forex and futures giveaways, 10K accounts. So after I take my trade, we'll do some giveaways. How many years of experience? I've been trading for around 6 years. Yep. This will be my 6th full year. Like in January, will be my 6th year of trading. It's been a long time. Over time, you know exactly what you're looking for in the market too, right? Develop a very intimate relationship with your system, and then you don't feel as much FOMO and stuff like that, right? You know what you're looking for. For me, I'm just waiting for my model to appear in the market every day. If it does, I take a trade. If it doesn't, I don't. How long did it become profitable? It took me around 3 years of trading to become profitable. I was working a full-time job. I went to university. I studied engineering. I was working in corporate, and then I was also trading at the same time. And then eventually I was able to do this full-time after about 3 years. Yeah. Took a long time. So we can see here, right, YM is gaining strength at this reversal area, which I like. Again, I'm looking to see if we come into this gap on the open. What's the best way to prevent overtrading? Overtrading is usually a function of not understanding your model, right? So forcing trades outside of the expectancy of your edge. Like I say, generally with time and the more understanding of your model you have, right, you will stop overtrading because you know exactly what you're looking for. How old am I? I am 26 in a day. I'm turning 26 tomorrow. 25 years old today. How many accounts are you giving? I'm going to give out 2 forex accounts at 10K and 2 futures accounts of 10K. So 4 in total. Why did I think to become a trader? That's a great question. Yeah, I was very interested in markets. I was investing my money because I was working a full-time corporate job. I was working in New York City. So I was like, okay, I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of finance bros essentially. And I just started to invest my money, right? Never really short-term speculate, but eventually I got into the idea of, reading charts, got exposed to ICT early in the charter days, 2019-ish, 2020, long time ago now. And then just really fell in love with kind of the charts and trading. And I knew it was going to take me a while to become profitable. So I didn't quit my day job for a long time. And then only once I was making, triple my salary did I even consider quitting my day job kind of thing, right? So I've been in this game for a long time. You lost your account due to overtrading. You need to better understand your model, right? And you need to be quite mechanical with its with your trade rules, right? So if you're entering trades, there needs to be a mechanical nature to that, which will stop you from overtrading. Everyone deals with overtrading, and especially fear of missing out, right? The market is going to provide hundreds of moves, if not thousands of moves, and you're going to be involved in very few of them. In fact, I would say I'm involved in less than 5% of the moves of the index futures because I'm waiting for specific times and then my model to form, right? For example, right now, I'm not involved in this move on the index futures market. I'm waiting for a time and a entry technique and a series of confluences, right? It's like a profession, guys. You got to treat it as such, right? You got to treat it like a professional. Your job is simply, if someone was paying you to execute on an edge, right? They told you, hey, you got to see A, B, and C, and then push the buy button or sell button. And they were paying you to do that. Well, you probably wouldn't deviate very much from that system because you're getting paid to do that. The only issue with trading is that you're the boss and the employee. You got to set the trading plan and you got to follow it. So it's hard. How much did I lose in the first 3 years? I lost a lot, actually. Yeah, lots of money. I was putting lots of money into the market. There wasn't really prop firms back then. I was just trading a personal account, and I was losing, thousands of dollars of my own hard-earned money, essentially, just throwing it into the market. Pain's a good teacher. Right? Financial loss is a good teacher. And you don't think I should stop? I mean, no, I don't believe you should stop trading. No. And you should focus on developing your edge, right? And then once you understand your model very well, you should focus on, building the discipline to trade just that model and let time do the heavy lifting. I use a Notion journal. Yeah. I journal all my trades on Notion. I have a journal I've built for my community. And we all use the same standardized journal, which is nice. It's really good for collecting data, but it's also, largely normalized, and it tracks the key components of my model, which I teach. Yeah. So there's a lot of standardization to what I do. There has to be, right? I try and be as mechanical as possible. You can see 930 here, we expand higher immediately on the open, okay? And we haven't come into any of my key levels, so I'm not interested in trading this 930 open just yet, right? Like I said, right, we have this key level down here. We have the same key level on the S&P, and you're going to see the open is really where a lot of manipulation occurs for the most part. So I'm looking to see what happens below here, right? You see YM here, we're really trading lower now, right? So there's a probability that YM will come in and potentially sweep out this low down here, while NASDAQ continues to expand higher. So if these assets are moving in different directions, it's hard for me to partake, right, in a market move like this, you can see. So I'm just going to wait for some clarity. I probably take 3 to 4 trades a week. As you can see, YM is flipping this open, right? Trading lower. Again, I'm not interested in trading the indices triad higher until I see some strength into this market. So again, NASDAQ is the asset I want to trade, but I need to see these two manipulating assets gain some strength and show me a reversal signature. We're very close in proximity to previous day high. However, my draw for today is actually the range high on NASDAQ, right? The other side of the range. You can find out more about me and my community via my socials. My community is called Lazarus. That's where you have access to kind of my trading model. I live stream in there pretty much every other day. And I teach extensively in there, yeah. I teach my model. I have students. So what I now want to see is if NASDAQ trades into this previous day high. I want to see a new phase of price here that supports continuation. And I want to see this asset in here reverse eventually, right? Again, I want to trade while these assets are in synchronization, so they're moving in the same direction. I will wait for that asset resynchronization to engage myself in the market. I don't want to trade decoupled moves, where decoupled just means that this asset's trading lower and this asset's trading higher. I'll wait for some manipulation trigger of some sort, like SMT formation, and then a reversal. Right? And I'll trade in alignment with the higher time frame draw I have. I do teach trading there. Yeah, my platform is largely educational. You guys can look me up on Twitter and YouTube and all sorts of socials, right? And then my Discord, I extensively teach. I have many students, many of which do very well. I've been educating for like almost 3 years, right? Been trading for 6, educating for 3. It is my name. It's Afyz. You can look me up on all socials. It's just my name. It's a pretty simple one. Right? I'm most active on YouTube and Twitter, as well as obviously on my Discord community. Okay, we're trading into this key level here, right? You can see, right? You see YM taking out the range low as well. So this is very interesting. We're seeing this retracement now on NASDAQ. I'm seeing YM take out the previous 4-hour candle's low, right? And again, I need to see YM reverse, right? I need to see a justification that we're not going to be doing. We're not going to be running, for example, this previous day low here, right? We have SMT now forming below this 4-hour low. My birthday's soon. Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow, or the 5th, 2 days from now. Oh, I got my days confused. My apologies. In 2 days, I forgot. That's crazy. How you can forget your own birthday? Yeah, my YouTube channel logo is black. On all socials, I'm just Afyz. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the same thing. Yeah, just simple. So now I'm starting to see YM reverse here, which is good. I'm going to want to be trading NASDAQ, this market eventually, higher. I don't use many fundamentals in my trading personally, no. I trade purely technicals. Yeah, purely technicals, just price action. You can see we've now flipped back the open, right? YM is traded below this previous candle's low. Now here's where I'm looking really to get long if NASDAQ shows me some reversal strength with the other assets in mind, right? News does impact the market, but I utilize news as a volatility driver more than a fundamental source. The model I trade is based in technicals only. Understand your edge, right? That's how you're going to not blow your account, is understand exactly what you're looking for in the market. I use, ICT concepts. Yep. I built my model from, I studied ICT as a charter member back in the day. But I built my model kind of around that. But these days, it's a little bit of my own stuff too. I use a lot of profiling of a daily candle. If you guys watch some of my content, you'll know what I mean by that. I profile candles extensively, right? So I'm looking to get involved in the power of three, essentially. What's my bias? I'm looking for buy-side liquidity today. So these highs, NASDAQ to previous day high, right? And potentially this external range high on the higher time frame. Yeah, if you don't want to blow your account, brother, you need to have an edge in the market. That's the simplest way to put it. You need to have an actual tried and tested edge in the market, and you need to execute on that edge. You can't take random trades outside of it, right? For me, the reason why I teach is because I've been teaching for 3 years, and what I can say is that most issues in individuals is not a psychology issue. It's actually a model issue. When you don't trust the expectancy of your system, it's very difficult, extremely difficult to adhere to it and stay disciplined to it. When you trust the system, you're more likely to stay and stick with it. The best example I can give you is if I gave you a coin and I said every time it lands on heads, I'm going to give you $10, and every time it lands on tails, you're going to give me $5. You're not going to feel very emotional about that coin, are you? You're going to flip that coin because it has a natural expectancy that favors you. That's what you have to do in trading. You have to find a system that gives you an asymmetry of reward with a higher win rate than a loss rate and a higher risk to reward. And then you're not going to be as emotional. There you go. Simple as that. Giveaway will be done after I'm done trading. Yep, when I'm done trading, I'll do my giveaway. I just stream until I'm done trading, so roughly 9 a.m. to 10:30, 11 a.m. Right, so this is our previous day low in here. Again, we can see we have decoupled markets. I'm going to choose winners from the chat. Don't worry, the giveaway will come. I'm focused on my trading right now. That's the most important thing for me right now. I do trade ICT concepts amongst others, yes. I use TradeZella. I also use Edgeful for some market data. Edgeful allows me to apply a statistical process to a lot of my model components, which is very nice. I wouldn't focus on making a fixed dollar amount any day. I'd focus on just trading your model with appropriate risk. So I think in here, YM might make its way down to previous day low. I'm not engaged. I'm not interested in that side of the market. I'm gonna wait to see if we get some sort of reversal off here. Let's see if I can trade this asset. Probably gonna be looking for the 4-hour close, guys. This current 4-hour candle you can see has flipped. But I'm still quite bullish on this market. I'm interested to see, right, if YM wants to make its way down into previous day low. I'm not entering a short position today at all, actually. At the moment, I'm looking for buy-side liquidity as a continuation on NASDAQ. Right? I'm looking to see if we can form continuation on this asset. We'll see. The giveaway will happen after I'm done trading. So like I said, I'm very likely to wait for the 10 a.m. open now. I'm interested in seeing if we form some sort of imbalance in the market here and potentially we take out this low. I'll just choose some people from the chat. I'll tell you guys how you can enter the giveaway. It'll be something pretty simple. I do think it's likely that the YM reaches into the previous day low before I see any sort of realignment for longs. But again, I'm still considering the fact that this is the 4-hour chart. Yes. Right, we see YM now trading into previous days 4-hour low, which is 2 p.m. This is where I really want to see some divergence form if we're going to be bullish. Again, NASDAQ, you can see may price in this imbalance still, which is what I'm most interested in seeing. Now, I don't want to trade this 4-hour candle. At the moment, this 4-hour candle has a large wick. This large wick doesn't support expansion higher. So we have to, reverse this wick and or form an open low high close of the next candle. Really, there'll be a trigger here of some sort, and I think that trigger will be probably this area of price. I think it's most prudent for me to wait for a YM to manipulate this low, however, before I look for any longs, just so I can get synchronized order flow if we're going to get a reversal. Nasdaq's reversing off of a failure swing. Again, these are failure swings in the market. Right. So this is a good retracement signature. I just have to make sure I'm on side for the next expansion. Here's a premium discount sequence, right? So now it just makes sense for me to wait for the next 4-hour candle, right? You can see YM is delivering a bearish expansion candle. Nasdaq is delivering a bullish retracement. Open high, open low, high, and it's coming off of its high, staying above its opening price. This flip the open is trading lower. So this is a decoupled phase of price. I'm looking to see if we potentially get a closure like this, bearish candle. Next candle opens low and starts to reverse, while this candle trades higher off of this imbalance. Okay. Just being patient now. I enter usually between the 3 and the 5 minute chart. It depends extensively on which fractal I'm trading of the market, right? Yeah, I believe that before we see any sort of move higher, I'm gonna watch this candle close too. If we don't price in an imbalance here, probably won't look too long. I think the YM is looking for this previous day's low. What's up, brother? How's it going, man? I'm doing well, my friend. And yourself? So we had our PMI come out, or we're having our manufacturing PMI come out in 10 minutes. This will be the driver that I'm looking to pair price with, and the expectation, right, of my trade idea will be confirmed or denied. We validated or invalidated based on how we react with this driver. And then I'll look to position myself, right? I would like to see Nasdaq close as an up close candle here on the 4-hour chart, signify a retracement of this candle and not a reversal. I'd also like to see YM take out this low as a down close candle clearly. This is where I'd like to see NASDAQ form its 4-hour low while YM takes out this low. All right, we also have this imbalance. I marked it on the 30-minute chart. We're going to see how we close in relation to this. All right, we're in that higher time frame discount now. So this is the discount of the higher time frame dealing range. I'm not bullish yet. No, absolutely not. If I take a position, guys, you'll see me put a position tool on my chart. Okay. I'd like to see this candle close an up close candle on NASDAQ. Should you reinvest your payouts into more accounts? That's a great question. I typically do that. Yeah, that's how you scale. Yep, I'll do the giveaways at the end. So if you stick around until after I'm done trading, you have a good chance of winning a giveaway. So now we're seeing YM trade into its previous day low. And I'm studying the close. I wouldn't short YM here. No, I would have shorted YM much higher in this range towards this low. But I wasn't interested in shorts today. I don't trade gold personally, brother. Also, I'm going to be looking to position myself in the index futures market. So I take 2 to 3 trades a week. If we fail to reverse here on the YM, so YM continues to trade lower, right? Well, then I can look to trade NASDAQ or the S&P into that low as well. But again, my eye right now is not on that low for all assets just yet. 2 to 3 in a week. I aim for 2 to 3 R. So 2 to 3 risk to reward ratio for the majority of my trades. I'm not in a trade yet, my friend. I'm just reading price. No trade for me yet. How much I made last year? You can, I post many of my payouts on my Twitter. You can do some math. I do okay for myself. I'm gonna see how this 4-hour candle closes now. Very important to me. Like I said, I want to see Nasdaq potentially close an up close candle. All right. We have this previous 4-hour low that I'm watching now. It's a failure swing to the previous day low. My X handle is just my name. Everything is my name, guys. It's Afyz. Afyz on everything. There's our previous day low on the YM. So if we don't get any respect of this low on YM, we could see a reversal on all assets, right, towards this low. Giveaway will be done after I'm done trading. So if you stick around, you have a good chance of winning the giveaway. Yeah, if you stick around, you have a pretty good chance. 1 in 20. It's not terrible odds. So now I want to see if YM will reverse at this low. If not, we're going to see a continuation of this middle asset into this low. So I need to see YM reverse the strongest here. Just waiting on my trade. I'm not going to force it, my friend. I may not even trade. Depends on if my model presents itself. I'll regularly wait, an hour plus more into the session to take a trade. I got to see something. I got to see my exact model form. At this point in time, it's not much guesswork for me. Trading should feel boring, guys. Yeah. You shouldn't feel emotional when you're trading. If you do, it's largely because you probably have large degrees of variance in your trading, meaning you do one thing one day, you do another thing the next day. You do that, right? It's high emotional, it's high stress, high highs, high lows, lower lows. You don't want your trading to be like the market. I don't think spamming the giveaway is going to work, but we can do a giveaway, sure. All right. The first person to tell me what this red line is on the YM wins your choice of 10K futures. I'll do two 10K futures accounts right now. What is this red line on the chart? What level is that? All right, Zane got it. And I like I like Market Maker XG's response of I like MJ's response of sell side liquidity. There you go. All right. So Zane and MJ. Where's Zane? Boom. Gonna start you guys. All right, cool. I'll do another one at the end now. So that's two. I'll do another two giveaways at the end. Gotta be quick with your fingers, guys. So it looks very likely that we will not see a reversal here, right? We may see a continuation on the S&P lower. I don't have an entry function here. No, I will send the accounts, like the people who won the giveaways, to the Aqua team, and then they will reach out to you via your YouTube or whatever you responded with. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to force an entry. The giveaways I've already announced. Yes, there'll be another one. Just be patient to the end. Horizontal line. Right. Again, I have to evaluate if YM is going to reverse here. If YM reverses here, like with strength, then I can look to trade some sort of internal to external range liquidity on the NASDAQ. But I need to see a reversal here first. Just gotta be patient. SMT works on all time frames. It depends on how you're structuring your trade ideas. Yes. I am on the 4 hour at the moment. Yes, SMT works on our lower time frames. These concepts are fractal, right? I'm just looking at candlestick behavior. We're starting to see that reversal here by YM, which is good. Nasdaq's keying off of the equilibrium of its previous 4-hour candle and this imbalance. I have to see some reversal signature in here before I can get long. I don't want to catch the bottom. I gotta wait for a higher time frame reversal for me to get long here. Gotta be patient. They gotta be quick for the giveaways. People are quick. Be quick with your hands. I'm gonna type the answer really quick. Giveaway's already been announced, man. There'll be another one at the end of the stream. So in about 30 minutes, I'll do another one. This is a nice reaction. See, I got to see YM reverse here. If YM doesn't reverse, then it could trade lower, right? But NASDAQ is still interesting to me to go long. Not looking for a reversal yet. This is a continuation. I might take a sell here on the YM, guys. I'm going to look for this next low on the YM. We're getting a continuation signature to go lower. Let's see if YM wants to trade into this established low down here, as we're failing to reverse off the lows here. It's a continuation signature. On our 5-minute chart, right? So I'm entering at this change in the state of delivery, essentially. So I'm not seeing a reversal, right? So I'm seeing you can trade to the next relevant low, potentially. So I'm going to be taking my position of YM off at these lows down here, if it offers it. Very nice expansion that we're involved in. Yeah. So 374, I'm going to take off some of my YM contracts if it offers it. I'm trading that continuation signature lower. Looks very nice so far. So 374 is where I'm going to be taking off. A little bit more. I'm going to leave some runners as well, right? Let's see if we get that expansion. You can see the target is this swing low down here on the hourly chart, okay? It's also a 4-hour swing low. So that's where I'm looking for price to draw into. And it's because I didn't see a reversal below the previous day low. So I'm trading the continuation signature that forms. I'll walk through my trade after, okay? But the signature is quite simple. You can see we come into this previous day low. We have this up close candle into a key level, which is a fair value gap. Now, because we close with displacement through that, that's a change in the state of delivery. And boom. All right, take my entry. Don't overthink it too much. Target the next draw. Yeah, so I'm trading the continuation. Precisely, yeah. Right, and you can see that liquidity is right here that I'm targeting. 374, 366 area. Really simple to get on side. Again, remember we had a bullish bias, but we were invalidated on the bullish bias based on the price action signatures at the key level, right? Which is why you're patient. You wait for those key levels. Then the market does that. The market does the heavy lifting, right? We just have to wait for our model to appear and then engage price, right? So now the trade's out of our hand, right? We just let price do whatever it wants to do. We're on side immediately though, right? Which is nice. We get some expansion in our direction immediately, but we'll have to see what price wants to do down here, right? It can do anything. The continuation model I used here was just a change in the state of delivery, right? This continuation array. We'll have to see if it wants to reach into these lows. Yeah, I almost always market order myself. Yep. It happens. Sometimes you miss your limits. I'm trading in funded accounts. Yeah, I trade across several funded accounts. All right, we're seeing a large wick here. Let's see if we get a continuation lower. We don't know. Once we take our entry, the rest is kind of out of our hands. Between a funded account or a live one, they both have different benefits. It largely depends on what your objectives in scaling and trading are. Yeah, they're both good. I use both. I trade my own capital. I trade prop firm capital. Prop firm capital is a really good way to get into the game for a low cost, right? So when price hits this level here, I'll be taking off the majority of my position and then leaving a bit as a runner to see if ES wants to trade into this low. But I'll take off about 2/3 here, okay? If it offers it, we don't know. Price could come all the way back to our stop loss. Market's random. But at this point in time, we have some confirmation in our direction. So we're assuming that it's going to come into this level here, right? Okay, so price is about to hit our TP. Pretty close to our take profit area. A few points away. Okay, so price has hit our take profit, which is fantastic. So now I'm going to put my stop loss to break even. Let me just quickly adjust my stop loss. Beautiful trade today, guys. Really, really patient. We were rewarded with that, weren't we? So I'm going to drag my stop loss to this current 3-minute high, okay? So I'm going to be trailing my stop loss here. I'll use this purple line to denote how I'm trailing my stop loss. So we've locked in around 2R now on this trade, 1.8R. I'm just going to be holding for, the next draw on liquidity, which for me is on these markets actually, to trade into these lows. So I'm going to be holding this, right? As this asset trades into the low, I'll take some more partials and we'll keep going from there. I'm just going to update my own community with my trade. Fantastic trade today, guys. Really, really good patience we had on this trade, right? I'm just going to make sure my position's closed out on my broker. Everything looks good here. Okay, there is a 3R objective down here that I'm going to be holding a little bit for as well. But other than that, this is a 3RR trade for the rest of my position. So it looks quite good, right? Not bad at all. Very good trade. So let's do another giveaway because trade, it was awesome. We hit TP. Yeah, if you guys want to watch my full trade breakdown, I'll post it on my Twitter and my YouTube like I do every day. And then I trade like this also every day inside my community, so you can learn about my approach, kind of how I took this trade, what I was structuring, what ideas I had in my head, right? And you can learn kind of how to trade like me, which is cool because a lot of this stuff was quite mechanical. And yeah, W's in the chat. Come on. We waited for that shit, right? We were patient. Oh, sorry for my language. We waited for that. We were patient. It's nice to get rewarded, right? When you're patient. Okay, let's do another giveaway. What asset did I just trade? The first two people are going to get another 10K forex account. The first people to answer which asset we traded. Oh, you guys are quick. All right. I'm pinning Panos and the OXXC trader. Fantastic. You guys are our giveaway winners. I just took the rest of my position off right there, guys. I'm going to call the stream. I don't think there's anything else for us to talk about. I hit 3R on my accounts. So for my entry, I have a static 3R. And yeah, I can take my win and run away. You know what I mean? I don't need to stay too much in the market and keep trading. I usually take one good trade a day, maybe two. And this right here is fantastic. So I'm going to leave. The Aqua team will reach out to you. So I will send them the winners and they'll reach out to you. But yeah, fantastic, guys. They'll contact you probably through your YouTube, right? And if they don't, you can send me a DM on Twitter and I can try and follow up with them as well if they don't reach out to you via your YouTube. So yeah, really fantastic trade today. We definitely cooked. Who took a W with me? Who took that trade with me? Anyone short YM with me? Because that was exceptionally clean. We got onside and it just melted, eh? Cool. All right, guys. I will see you guys all for my next stream, which will be on Thursday at around 11. So don't miss it. We're gonna get into it again. I'll be teaching more and we'll be trading more. All right. Peace. Let me quickly take a picture of the winners and then I can say peace. I'm just going to send these winners in right now. All right, folks, have a great day. I'll talk to you guys on Thursday. Peace.